What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube world, YouTube land? I am Real Estate Jay, and
It's gonna be a cold summer.
welcome to the Cold Summer Podcast. When we getting into it, bro, if this is your first time coming in, I need you to hit that red subscribe button. I need you to tune in, and I also need you to hit that like button because there's a couple things we're doing new now. We're doing a couple things new on the channel. We're starting to do some live streams, baby. We're starting to do some live streaming. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I did our first live stream last Saturday. Went great. We got another show coming up Wednesday around 6, 7 o'clock. Stay tuned. Bring your energy. Bring your topics. I like to have a theme for the show just to kind of get it started. But I'm willing to take the show wherever it needs to go, depending on your energy. All right. Now, let's talk about my man, Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles. I want to talk about him. He had a pretty interesting hot take from what I know, and I know y'all go correct me. I'm just going to generalize it and call him a track runner, track star, right? He's a track star for the USA, and he was dominating. I heard, he was doing his thing. So he has a pretty interesting hot take. So let's listen what the man got to say, all right? Let's listen to him, and I'm going to give you an objective point of view. I'm just going to call it straight down the middle. Let's go.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times. But that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
What? All right. That's it, y'all. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mr. Kevin Lyles. I'm going to bring it back up in a second. I just want to change the theme up a little bit. All right. He's not wrong. What? He's not wrong. What? I'm going to tell you why. He's looking at this from an Olympic standpoint. He's looking at it from a world stage standpoint. He's not looking at it from a domestic point of view. He runs track. He runs for the United States of America. This is what he's saying. For example, right? I call it the baton racing. I don't know if that's a real term, but he's in the baton racing or whatever, right? And sprinting and all these sports that we have during the Olympics, you have a lot of countries looking like at that event. So that same event, you got somebody from Spain, somebody from Japan, someone from China, someone from Poland, someone from the United States. We're all watching them on the world stage. What? Okay. And they're all representing their country, even if they're from the United States, right? Well, I'm talking about basketball players. You got a lot of players that are from the United States that play from different countries in the NBA, but during the off season, when they go and play basketball or for the Olympics, they go and play for their country. What? So as great as they are in the NBA, like Luka Doncic, he's going to go play for his country, right? I remember Dirk Nowitzki back in the day, great basketball player. When he used to go and play, he went and played in Germany.
Sensational.
Not the United States. When it came to the world stage of actually, hey, we're competing for a gold medal, he went to Germany, not the United States. And then we all would watch the NBA in the Olympics, and then they would win. Whoever would win gold medal, bronze, or silver. So that's where I think Noah Lyles his head is at. His head is talking about world stage when it comes to this type of event for representing your country. All right. The NBA is more domestic. It does have Canada, yes. And they do show the flags of Canadian and the United States in there. So I will say they do show flags there, Noah. What? And they show some other flags too. It's just not as bold as the United States flag. Yes, we do have a Canada team, but there's a lot of domestic teams. But we have a lot of basketball players that come from all around the world to come and play in the United States. That's why they have even something called the world versus the U.S., because the world is considered, your Lucas and, all even like your Giannis's and all those guys will be considered your world players. And it's versus the USA. So we have them in the NBA. But what he's talking about is he's talking about the Olympics. And I think what people don't understand, and I've seen the comments from like Draymond Green and someone else. I think Kevin Durant said something. And they were all like, I think Kevin Durant did say something. Yeah, he did. He said, somebody help this brother is what Kevin Durant said. And I think people are just getting offended by it. But again, they're not understanding his point of view. His delivery probably was really harsh and really off, maybe. But I think if you gave him some time to maybe explain the question, which I wanted to see more of the interview. I hate when they only give us like a 30-second clip to judge it, but he probably was talking about it from the Olympic standpoint. Hey, I'm an athlete. When I go and run, there's not really a lot of big stages for him to run in the United States. But when he goes and runs for the Olympics or for the American team, it's a lot more bigger. That's a big deal. That's probably what he's talking about. All right. And you got a lot of players coming at him. Let's read some of the comments. Noah is referring to the structure of the sport of track and field. See, that's what I'm saying. NBA, NFL, and national American-based leagues, you do not have to compete across the globe to gain points to then compete for a world title. Yes, athletes come to America from different countries to compete in the national sports, but that's not what he's speaking about. And they got a long thing, right? Shout out to Miss Barry Throws. She's probably an athlete as well. Looks like she's an athlete. So that's what I'm saying as well. I'm saying the same thing, right? He's talking about track and field. He's talking about running. That's different. And then people are talking about something. Is anybody going to tell them? Yes, we know that people from different countries come and play in the NBA. But when they go in their off season or where they go for the Olympic season, they go and play for their own country. I used to watch Dirk Nowitzki do it. I was like, man, he's a good player, man, blah, blah, blah. And I remember when I first understood that players go and play for their own country, and I was like, oh, man, we going up against Dirk? Pau Gasol, go and play for Spain? I was like, oh, wow, okay. So that's what he's talking about. And I think people are getting all butthurt. Yep, I said it. People getting butthurt. And they like, oh, what do you mean? What do you, he's talking about his field. He's talking about his industry. And he's right. He's right. Okay? All right? That's why they have, even if you play NBA 2K, which I don't get to play it as much as I got anymore. I got kids and stuff, man. I don't get to play games no more, man. But there used to be the world versus the U.S. And that's why the world was everyone else, right? Dirk Nowitzki and Barbosa and Giannis and all those guys. They come, they play in the U.S., yes, domestically, and there's the Canada team, but you don't have people from Germany, from China, always tuning in to watch the NBA. But when the Olympics comes around, we're always watching that team. When the Olympics comes around, you got China watching, Poland, Germany, everyone watching. In America, we're all watching because we want our country to win on the world stage, which then makes them world champions if they get the gold medal. That's what he's talking about. And again, I think people just so soft and people getting all mad about it. I think his delivery might have been a little off. I will give him that. His delivery might have been a little too harsh for this soft community. But speak your mind, Noah. Speak your mind, man. So that's all I got to say on that video, man. I don't think he's wrong. Now, I will say this, though. Here's my objective point of view. Here it comes. Y'all ready? What he said about America was he said sometimes he loves this country. No, you should love this country because if you don't, you can go run for a different country. You can go live in a different country and go run for them in your track and field. All right. This is a good country, right? And I'm gonna say something that maybe y'all can stop me. Why don't we just go ahead and make America great? What? All right. What? All right. I won't say that. I won't have y'all come at me and trying to beat me down. But it's good, man. And they do fly flags. Not fly flags, I shouldn't say. They do have flags in the NBA. There is a Canadian flag. There's an American flag. They don't show them as much, but they do have flags in the NBA, right? Because the NBA does embrace other countries. That's why they do that, because it's more money when they can include other countries. And they even go and play in, was it France? They go sometimes like a preseason game, or there might be a season game. They'll go up play in France and all those other things. So, well, y'all seen that, but trying to handle some business, man. So yeah, so that happens, right? So I don't think he's wrong. I think he's right. I don't think nothing wrong with that. So with that being said, at the end of the day, this is chess, not checkers, and I'm gonna see y'all at work.